Hey everyone, welcome back to the Landscapes of Learning. Maureen here, ready to bring you further, deeper into my classic wisdom for the modern human self-study guide for wellness. Previous videos, we've talked a little bit about some of the resources in the book that I wanted to acknowledge. We talked a little bit about yoga as union, as one of the central tools for learning about who you are, my own personal experiences with yoga and my own transformation. And we also talked about the unexamined life being not worth living, and also the 5 parts of the self-study guide, which is attention, self-awareness, challenge, choice, and learning. And today, in this video, I would like to talk about honest practice, why honesty is central to this curriculum. My Landscapes for Learning website has a little tagline. It says, get honest, get healthy. Integrity means to be integrated, fully integrated. And integrated is kind of a synonym with union, which is yoga. It means balance, okay? There's yin and yang in the universe, energy, right? And when people say, oh, there's no good or bad, okay, that's one way to put it, but reality is as it is. Your body is in a state, and then the mind makes meaning from that state. It tells a story. It interprets the meaning, the experience that it takes in, and it neurocepts and interocepts and perceives, and then we make meaning from our experiences. That's generally how things work with humans. So integrating all of those experiences for balance and regulation and is the middle way. You know, it's the middle. Balance, you know, a pendulum swings back and forth. There's the spectrum of interpretation. There's the political spectrum, left and right. There's tension there. And then there's the pendulum that swings back and forth, yin and yang, right? But the pendulum never stops in the middle and just stays there, right? Like it's always moving. Energy is always moving. So we aim for balance. We aim for integration. And the degree to which we are, we aren't. You just want to know where you are, and when you know where you are in that relative balance, then you know who you are. You know how to adjust and care for yourself to constantly, you know, if the pendulum swings way extreme, you know, you have tools and resources to kind of swing it back, whether that's nervous system regulation or kind of. My neighbor just went by in a boat. I live on a pond, so I'm giving him a wave. You know, we have like obsessive thinking, extreme thoughts, bringing things back into balance. And we all have tools and skills. We have the wisdom within us to do that. We just don't know it. So that's why in an earlier video, my yoga teacher said, oh, you don't know who you are. A lot of us don't, and we don't know what our resources are and what it means to be a human being. So that's what my channel is about, is trying to bring more awareness to this topic, share resources, give you strategies and tools and information that you can find helpful to know yourself for wisdom and wellness and a good life, a good purposeful, healthy life. So a big part of that is honesty. We love to lie to ourselves. It's just easier sometimes. But the classic wisdom for the modern human, the self-study guide, is going to ask you to be honest. And without honesty, you're not going to have a whole lot of health. It's the foundation of psychotherapy, of any kind of health, is to be honest, authentic, right? Be exactly who you are. And that's where we take out the judgment. Because when we judge, we're trying to meet some expectation, and we're trying to adjust things to be other than they are, and we're trying to be other than who we really are. If we're in pain and we have a strong emotion, we're in pain and we have a strong emotion, that's what's happening, okay? The more you try to change it because you feel like you should or you shouldn't feel that way, those are all conditional expectations. That's not real. That's in your mind. That's cultural, that's conditioning, right? Feel your feelings. Have the thoughts you have. It's not attaching to them and making them worse and doing all the things we do to adapt and cope with discomfort. We'll learn about that. We'll learn about how we adapt to the experiences in our environment. Each of us do it differently. We have nervous systems, we have brains, we have bodies. We're social beings. There's lots of ways that we try to cope and manage, each of us, depending on who we are. Okay, 3 things are extremely hard: steel, a diamond, and to know oneself. That's by Benjamin Franklin. So this is an honest practice, getting to know yourself. Self-study for self-realization requires honesty, radical honesty. Very difficult for very many people. It's not an easy thing. And when you are being honest and you do discover things about yourself that are difficult to accept and difficult to acknowledge and be honest about, it can be very dysregulating. We'll fall back into our implicit patterns of reacting to those truths about ourselves that are uncomfortable, that cause us pain, anger, crying, frustration, disappointment, whatever. Just try. I'm going to give you tools to try to stay regulated as you go through this process and to rely on other supports and so forth. But hang in there in the moment, and this is the goal, is to accept what's happening, to accept who you are with a sense of curiosity and openness, and it's okay. You're vulnerable, right? One of my other things that I say is, it's hard lifting the heavy weight of being human. Yeah, it's hard. So you might find this messy, pain-filled trial and error learning to be difficult. Try to be patient and compassionate with yourself, and don't give up. Just trying is an important step in the right direction. Okay, you're embarking on traveling your landscapes for learning. It's an adventure, so ups and downs, mountains and valleys, peaks and valleys. Take breaks when you need to, okay? If it's too much, stop. Come back another time. It's all okay, all right? You have to give yourself what you need. This is what we do in yoga. It's not about getting to the end of the posture. Despite what people think and everyone around you trying to do that, those are just implicit conditioned habits from living in a culture that's outcome-oriented. The goal of yoga is to be who you are in every moment and just notice, interoception, understanding what's happening while it's happening without judgment, just to learn more about who you are. And when you know more about who you are, you know how to care for yourself. You know how to take when you need a break. You know when you need a pat on the shoulder. You know when you need a kick in the ass. And you know how to parent yourself for wellness. And that's trial and error. Sometimes you're going to beat yourself up. Sometimes you're going to be a lazy ass and make excuses and tell lies. And that's okay. That's what it is. But you just keep coming back. You keep doing your yoga. You keep trying. You keep learning. It's learning. Everything, all your experiences are just to learn more and more and more. Landscapes are for learning. Okay? You're your best teacher. Your experience is your best teacher. So don't give up. Just trying the right way is a step forward in the right direction. So good for you. Literally, good for you. All right. So you have incredible potential, just waiting to be actualized, passions to be uncovered, and many weaknesses that are likely suppressed that could surface at any time and cause unwanted and unintended damage. Think about it. How many times have you been alternately pleasantly surprised by your own talents or prowess and horrified at your own weakness and unintended bad behavior? There's just a lack of awareness sometimes about ourselves, right? Have you ever found yourself saying, that's so unlike me to have done X, or I don't know what came over me? Me too. Rather than deny our weaknesses and animal nature, pretend they don't exist, or worse, repress them, we need to notice, study to understand, and manage them as productively and as constructively as possible. You're constructing who you are. You're constructing your life. Life is an ongoing construction project. Okay, so enjoy the project. Enjoy creating and constructing. Getting your hands messy and dirty. right? You're going to say dumb things to people and hurt other people and hurt yourself in the process. And you're also going to create amazing things and share love too. You have to acknowledge it all. That's just what life is. And I'm not going to say, don't be afraid. You'll be afraid, but we can learn more about our nervous systems and how to manage that fear more constructively too. So we'll suffer, but we can suffer better. All right, so we're both rational animal. We have a survival system in place that's out of our awareness, our autonomic nervous system. It's automatic, but we can bring more conscious attention to that and awareness, and also what its relationship is to our thinking brain, and make those two things work synergistically together. If we're more aware of how these things work, we can participate in the process of being ourselves instead of just being yanked around by all these sensations we don't understand. And it's ignorance, right? Or being afraid of a pain, or what something means, or what someone said and how you interpreted something, right? It's less fear and ignorance, more insight, right? By insight and learning. All right, so next time we'll talk about the goals and objectives of the self-study guide. That'll probably be a real quick video. Share this with your friends, anyone who's interested in teaching, parenting, coaching, working with other people, therapists, body workers, anyone who's interested in health and learning, and spread. I want to spread as many mind-body resources to as many people as possible to benefit them as individuals, and then also the people that they work with. So, because we're always contacting each other, nervous system to nervous system, and communicating with our minds and bodies. So if we can learn more about that process of being human, recognizing our own humanity, our own mind-body systems, the better we'll be, individual, more healthy, and so will the world, because we'll influence other people that we connect with. All right, see you in the next video. Take care.